हेलो फ्रेंड्स, हमने 2023 में काफ़ी एक्सट्रीम इवेंट्स देखे हैं. On the weather side, 2023 was the hottest year on the planet thus far. Even as we were recovering from COVID, there are already two big wars that are underway. Global economic growth has been impacted and thousands of employees have been laid off. And as a result, the world is more fragile than it has ever been in our own lifetime. Friends, while we can't predict the future, we know for sure that there will be other challenges that lie ahead in 2024. What we can do, however, is to prepare ourselves for any of these challenges that lie ahead of us. Welcome back to my channel. इस चैनल की शुरुआत मैंने इसलिए की थी ताकि मैं अपने इन्वेस्टर और लाइफ कोच से रिलेटेड जो भी लर्निंग्स हुए हैं वो आपके साथ शेयर कर सकूँ, एंड सो दैट यू कैन लर्न फ्रॉम इट टू. एंड ऑफ द ईयर इज यूजुअली अ गुड टाइम टू रिफ्लेक्ट अपॉन हाउ द ईयर वेंट. हमने क्या अच्छा किया, हम और क्या अच्छा कर सकते थे. So in this video, friends, I wanted to share with you 5 key learnings that I have had in 2023 given the events that took place. My first learning, as I'm calling it, is 1 plus 1 is actually equal to 11. मैंने टीम बिल्डिंग पे एक पहले वीडियो में भी बात किया है. So in 2023, I organized event on the skilling and training sector in India, which was attended by top companies, investors and policy makers. ये event काफ़ी successful हुआ था. And as I was reflecting on what went well, the biggest reason was the team effort that went behind it. As I think about what were the key learnings on how we functioned well as a team, there were 4 key learnings. Number 1, we knew what the other team member was good at and we would let them run independently. We would not step on each other's shoes, and yet we were around when any one of us needed other team members' help. Number 2, this independence was mixed with constant accountability. हर टीम मेंबर को पीरियोडिक अपडेट्स देने पड़ते थे कि उनके एरिया में क्या प्रोग्रेस हुआ है और क्या अभी भी बाकी है करना. थर्ड, हम रेगुलर ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग सेशंस करते थे ऑन व्हाट वी कुड डू बेटर. एज वी वुड रिव्यू द प्रोग्रेस दैट वी वर मेकिंग, वी वुड ऑल्सो लुक एट व्हाट वी कुड डू बेटर एंड एवरीवन वुड कंट्रीब्यूट टू दैट. नंबर 4, देयर वाज अ क्लियर लीडर इन द पैक. यू कुड कॉल इट एज अ फर्स्ट अमॉन्ग्स्ट इक्वल्स. सब इक्वली थे टीम मेंबर्स में, बट देयर वाज वन who was responsible for decision making in case there was any confusion, or let's say there was a split vote in case any decision had to be made. As you think about your own company, how well do you function as a team, and how has this played out more specifically in 2023? Let's talk about the second key learning that I've had in 2023, which is growth, growth and growth. I've been very fortunate to coach a very diverse pool of people. There are startup entrepreneurs, family business owners, people who work in startups, and even those who are rebuilding their lives. इस इंडिविजुअल में उस कोचिंग कॉल में आके एक कमिटमेंट दिखाया है to leave behind their past, to focus on their goals and what they can do to achieve them. So as you reflect back on your 2023 journey, what initiative have you taken that helps you grow as an individual, and how has that helped you? My third biggest learning has been around overcoming fear of failure. जब मैं YouTube चैनल शुरुआत करने की सोच रहा था, उस समय काफ़ी डाउट्स आते थे मन में कि क्या होगा अगर ये चैनल सक्सीड नहीं हुआ तो, अगर नेगेटिव रिव्यू आए तो तब क्या करूँगा, और ऐसे काफ़ी सारे थॉट्स आते थे. हैप्पी विद द फैक्ट कि फाइनली मैंने एक चैनल चालू किया. आप लोगों ने अभी तक उसकी प्रशंसा की है, एंड आई एम होप 2024 कैन इवन बी बेटर. फ्रेंड्स, व्हाट वर्कड फॉर मी वाज बीइंग कॉन्शियस अबाउट इट एंड देन एक्टिवली वर्किंग ऑन इट. मैंने फियर ऑफ फेलियर के टॉपिक पे एक पहले वीडियो में भी डिटेल में बात किया है. This fear could come up before any big step that you take. The key is that you keep working on it, and over time it will go away. So friends, as you look back at your 2023 journey, were there small or big decisions before which you faced this fear of failure or had self-doubt? What helped you in that moment to take that decision? Is there any decision in 2023 that you held off because you were worried about what could be the outcome of that you did not do because you feared what failure would look like if you make that decision? Fourth biggest learning for me in this past year was the fact that you should expect potholes in your journey. There was an investment that I had made where we suffered a massive loss in the last year. I was quite upset for some time. और ये frustration और anger कभी कभार दूसरों के सामने भी निकलता. And I eventually realized कि मैं outcome को तो बदल ही नहीं सकता. I had to learn the lessons from this investment and then move on. एंड मेक श्योर कि मैं ये सेम मिस्टेक शायद दोबारा नहीं करूँ. फ्रेंड्स, अगर आप एक डिसीजन मेकर हो किसी कंपनी में, फाउंडर हो, ओनर हो, तो आपको पता है कि ये डिसीजंस आपको लेने होंगे वेयर द रिजल्ट माइट नॉट बी नोन. फेलियर्स आर इनएविटेबल. हाउएवर, व्हाट इज़ इम्पॉर्टेंट इस कि हम अगर फेलियर हुआ है तो मूव ऑन करें, उससे जो लेसन्स हुआ है उसको लर्न करें ताकि हम दोबारा वो सेम मिस्टेक्स नहीं दोहराए। तो as you look at your 2023 journey, what were the failures that you encountered and how did you react to them? The fifth point, which is perhaps the biggest learning for me in 2023, was the fact that we need to back ourselves. Friends, there was a very interesting turn of events in a portfolio company. एक consumer brand company है जिसमें हमने invest किया था, and over time उसकी performance थोड़ी deteriorate हो गई थी. And by a senior founding team, they suddenly found themselves in a space where did not get much attention and love from other investors. However, what they knew is that they could turn it around. They backed themselves, and they sure did. Friends, the situation is now that in a few months, the company has significantly improved its operations. Its numbers are better than it has ever been before, and it is getting a lot of interest from investors. Now, for me, the big learning was how the portfolio company founders backed themselves in a situation where there were no one else who was backing them. Friends, the interesting learning for me in this was, कभी कभार ऐसा होता है कि जब going gets tough, then we are almost expecting कि कोई हमको आके उस tough situation से निकाल ले. But what is important to understand in that situation is that we are all alone. We do need to fight it out on our own. There might be people around us who are our well-wishers, who might be helping us out. But at the end of the day, it is we who have to take ourselves out of that tough situation. So friends, as you look back at tough situations in either 2023 or even before, where you found yourself very alone at a very critical juncture, what do you think helped you in that moment? Friends, 2023 को wrap up करते हैं, thinking about what the key events for us during the year have been. I've shared with you 5 such key events and the learnings from that happened in my life. I would love for you to also share your reflections on 2023 in the comment section. I'm hoping that these reflections and learnings would have helped you, and I'm sure that your reflections and learnings as you share it will also help other people who will be watching this video and looking at the comment section. I'll see you soon in the new year. Till then, stay happy and stay healthy.